Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Shilpa. Now I did see a really good response on my last video, which was if somebody told me these things before going into NIFT. And I thought probably I should make another video giving you 10 more things. Probably somebody should have told me, but I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so tip number one, I know that a lot of people might come from a place where getting into NIFT was a really big deal, and that was it for me as well. And when I did get in, I obsessed over a lot of things, which I did not really have to, but I anyways did. So my suggestion would be, first of all, try to understand which is really important and give your 100% there. Don't obsess over like tiny little things which can be passed off, and it's okay, it's not going to affect you so much. The course is extensive and it can get stressful sometimes, so just choose your battles. Tip number two. Now, IDMs are the first thing that you're going to choose in your first week. So, a lot of people obsess over it. I did too as well. But in IDM, what I realized is unless and until that you are going to put those skills down in a CV, your subject doesn't really matter much when it comes to IDM. I'll give you my example. I took fashion communications IDM, which is basically styling, and I loved styling, I liked photography, and that sort of worked for me to get the marks that I wanted. But that did not directly help me in building a CV or something of that sort. Now my opinion on this could be biased, because considering I have done Instagram before, and it would be comparatively more easier for me to do, but people who do not know how to do it and want to learn, maybe it could be a good starter for you. But IDM is not such a serious thing, so just choose something that you're interested in, and eventually when you intern or somewhere like that, that's where the whole thing is going to matter. Nobody asks in an interview that have you taken that subject and if that's going to work or not. But just as a disclaimer, let's say if you plan to become a stylist or want to get into that field altogether, you might want to concentrate more on that subject and build your portfolio. So I would clearly say that just judge where you stand and where do you see your future a little bit in the beginning, and this might help you decide your IDM. I chose fashion styling because I just wanted to see how it is, and the other IDMs did not interest me. So yeah. Number three, you would also have to decide your GE. Now, when I was in NIFT first semester, I was like, oh my god, my GE is so important. I have to get good marks and stuff like that. But honestly, GE is a 2-credit subject, which is the only purpose of that subject on your mark sheet is that it contributes some marks. So I would suggest don't take it seriously. Take something that you can enjoy, or learn in, or enjoy learning it, and choose it accordingly. In the following semester, like the second and third semester, I went ahead to choose GEs which will make me score more, which will keep my CGPA to the level that I wanted to. So I mean, उतना stress करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है GE को लेके. Just take what you enjoy and you think you can score enough, and you're good to go. Number 4. Now, a lot of you might be doing online college in your first semester because of, the lockdown and pandemic in our country. So I would suggest that you start looking at softwares like, design softwares like Photoshop, Illustrator, Canva, even space design softwares. Just learn, just know how to make them. Explore how to make websites and stuff like that, because that is eventually going to help you in your course and even in your internships. And I think this is something that this generation student need to explore a little more, because you want to present your ideas, but unless and until you present it well, that idea is not going to come through. So I would suggest that you invest a little bit time to understand video editing, space design, Canva, Photoshop, Illustrator. So these things would really help you. So I would suggest that you do that. Tip number 5, do not underestimate Excel. Yes, Microsoft Excel is one of the most demanded software skill that you should know when you're getting into entry level jobs in the industry. Why I say that? Because a lot of you might be doing data analysis on a regular basis. Considering e-commerce is booming right now, everything is so data driven businesses, so you would want to know how to do data analytics and analyze what is doing good, what is doing bad. And to do most of the data analytics, Excel is one of the most used tool which I can suggest you. I did not really know much in Excel, and thankfully people in my internship were really nice and they helped me out to learn and understand Excel better. So I would suggest that you spend a little bit time and invest a little bit energy to learn Excel really well. Tip number 6. Now I know that a lot of people might think that getting in a team and be cordial with each other and everything, but what I suggest is whenever you have an opinion or an idea, make sure that you have a healthy discussion with your peers or the students that you're working with. A healthy discussion is basically being firm at what you're presenting, knowing the facts and figures, and trying to convince your team members which idea can work, and try to do that, but at the same time be very cordial and respectful with your team members, because since you guys don't know each other that well, you can't be like friends and be, a lot of people can take it in an offensive manner. So just be nice to people. A lot of people forget how to be nice to people, so just do that. Be cordial with what other people are presenting. Try to work around that idea. You don't have to stick to what you are presenting. So yeah, just be cordial, be a good team member, step up when you have to be a leader, and yeah, make a good project, because that's what's gonna get you all the CGPA marks that you need. Tip number 7. Now it's not really a tip, but it's just a suggestion. Since it's online, even if it's offline, try to do something on the side, even if it's really tiny, like a random photo shoot, video editing, or even helping somebody with their administrative work who's a brand, somebody who's coming up with a startup and they need an assistant. So look for these places. A, you can earn money if you'd like. B, you can get to learn a lot of things which you might not get during your course. So real life merged with education, I feel, gives you a very good perspective of how to deal with things and how to work around in the industry. So I would totally suggest that. I was doing YouTube, I was making videos on the side, other than what internships and all I ended up doing during the COVID time and being under lockdown. But even when things were not under lockdown, I was doing YouTube. I know a lot of people who are doing like small businesses. I have like friends who own like family businesses, and they were helping out with their family to come up with new ideas for the business. So yeah, you can actually try that out, and even if something might not work well or you might not go into that direction, tomorrow when you're giving an interview, you can always highlight that on your CV that you did that side by side with your course. Tip number 8. The first thing you should do is make a LinkedIn profile. Yes. So if you're planning to have a future in corporate life and have buying or marketing future, you should probably think and consider making a LinkedIn profile immediately as you get in. You can share your thoughts about various career things. You can add people who are in the industry, the brands that you eventually want to work in, and connect with them, so that when time comes, like internships and stuff. So I think you should probably try that, and I think it can work. You can probably share projects or ideas that you really think that you really outdid yourself. You can share those ideas on LinkedIn, and if somebody might like you, they might actually ask you to work for you, or when you're applying, you can say these things and people can refer to your profile. So make a LinkedIn profile immediately. Tip number 9, ask a lot of questions. I cannot emphasize enough how much asking question can actually help you in this course, because whenever you're in doubt, you will be in a lot of doubt in case you're not coming from this industry in your bachelor's. You will have a lot of queries. So ask questions. Even if, let's say, a faculty member would expect you to know the basics of things, even if you don't know, if you ask them, at least they'll direct you in the direction that you need to research to get all this knowledge. Let's say I had a doubt about some random clothing and how do I get to know कि कौन सा कपड़ा क्या करता है. I've done engineering, I don't know about fabric. So of course my teacher won't take out extra time to explain to me fabric, कौन सा fabric क्या है. We have a separate subject about that. That's a completely different thing. But they will direct you that guys, you should probably study more about fabrics and jeans में कौन सा कपड़ा जाता है, top में कौन सा कपड़ा जाता है, किस किस टाइप के कपड़े होते हैं, किस किस टाइप का cotton होता है, what are the measurements and stuff like that. So these are the things that they will suggest to you, and you won't get to know these things if you don't ask questions. Trust me, nobody here has come who knows everything and is expected to know everything. You come here, you learn, and you learn only when you ask a lot of questions. So do not hesitate to ask a lot of questions. Tip number 10, college organizes a lot of talks by experts from the industry. I got a chance to interact with Narendra Kumar, yes, the Narendra Kumar, in one of the talks, and make sure that you go for these talks, get to know what they are saying, and make sure you ask questions. You will get to know more about what they do and get a sense of interaction with them. You can talk to them and get to know, if they have internships and, they would like to get interns for their company and their work. And if you ask a good question, they get impressed by you. It sort of works for you, and that's how networking works. So, make sure that you go for these or attend these talks that are organized. Not necessarily you need to go for everything, but just go through the resources that you have to check who the speaker is and how they can contribute to your career, and it would make sense for you to go for these talk and attend this talk and make sense. So yeah, just go attend these talks, make sure you ask questions and try to interact with the speaker, because trust me, when somebody's coming to speak to you and you respond very confidently and equally and interested enough, they also like the same thing. They like the whole energy. So you should probably do that. If people are on LinkedIn now, even the people on the higher management or people who are like major designers and stuff, they are on a really good level. So what you can do, take a picture with them, or just like a tiny gesture, you can post it on Instagram or LinkedIn, thanking them for the talk and how they helped you and all those stuff, and that sort of creates a great impression even with the people who are watching you on LinkedIn or even Instagram, and you can stay connected. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Comment below for more questions and queries, because I like them and I am going to acknowledge them and answer them. And please make sure you subscribe if you haven't. It'll make my day. And until the next video, bye.